Gracious and Heavenly God, we give you thanks for gathering us here this evening. We ask that you watch over us and be with us. We ask that you bless us so that in all of the proceedings this evening, things are done well, with wisdom, and with care. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I have the distinct honor of introducing our Senator from our district, Senator Joe Knopsche, and give him a round of applause. The good senator was here 4 years ago and swore me in on my first term, and I thought it was appropriate that once again I have the honor and the privilege of being with him again. So, Joe, thank you so much for coming out.
Just don't expect to be like Glenn, because I don't think I'm going to be around that
I'll ask my wife to join us.
Okay, Mayor, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert Collins,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
Morris County, New Jersey.
Morris County, New Jersey.
I do further solemnly swear that I will faithfully,
I do further solemnly swear that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
perform
all the duties of the office of Mayor
all the duties of the office of Mayor
in the Borough of
in the
Kinnelon
Borough of Kinnelon
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
And now I have the distinct honor of swearing in two elected councilmen. So I'm going to ask Councilman-elect Cliff D'Antonio to join me, and Connor's going to hold the Bible for him. I will tell you that Councilman Frieda contends that if I don't like you, I read the entire statement once and hope it gets slower, okay? I state your name.
I, Clifford J. D'Antonio,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
Morris County, New Jersey.
Morris County, New Jersey.
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of councilman
all the duties of the office of councilman
in the Borough of Kinnelon
in the Borough of Kinnelon
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I actually saw somebody take the oath with their right hand on the Bible, and I wonder if it works better that way. I think this is the way that you're supposed to do it, so we're going to just go with this. I state your name.
I, Adam Barish,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
Morris County, New Jersey.
Morris County, New Jersey.
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially, and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of councilman
all the duties of the office of councilman
in the Borough of Kinnelon
in the Borough of Kinnelon
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Thank you. I'll call the meeting to order and ask that you please stand to join us in a moment of silence to recognize our troops that have served and currently are serving in harm's way. Thank you. Please join us in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. I ask that the clerk please read the Open Public Meeting Statement Act.
In compliance with the provisions of Chapter 231 of Public Laws of New Jersey of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting was given by publishing a notice in December 10, 2014 edition of the Trends. This notice is also sent to Star Ledger, North Jersey Herald News, The Record, and posted on the Municipal Bulletin Board.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Frida.
Here.
Councilman O'Doherty.
Here.
Councilman Barish.
Here.
Councilman Clavell.
Here.
Councilwoman Sente.
Here.
And Councilman Giantonio.
Here.
Thank you. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our visiting dignitaries tonight. We started with our Senator Joe Panaccio, and thank you again, Joe, so much for the honor of swearing me in. We're also joined by our former mayor, Mayor Glenn Sisko. Glenn, thank you for coming out. I still contend that Barbara doesn't want you home, and that's why you do these things, but thank you again for so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you. We have freeholder David Scarpicchio with us tonight as well. Dave, thank you. And I am going to run through, hopefully, former council people that are here. So if I miss anybody, I apologize. We have former councilman and council president Larry Cascia. We have former councilman Evan Swalling, former councilman Andy Sanfilippo. Hard to miss, Andy. And also we have former councilman Paul Metcalf. He's waving at me, and why is this guy waving at me? And we also have the distinguished mayor of Bloomingdale with us tonight, Mayor Jonathan Donlevy. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate your being here tonight. Our first order of business is the election of the council president. The council president serves in the absence of the mayor. And it is a council decision. It is something that I do not take part in. This is purely from the council members themselves, and we will now proceed with opening the election of council president for nominations. So if anyone would like to nominate someone for council president, now's your opportunity to do that.
I'd like to nominate Dan O'Doherty.
Do we hear a second?
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations for council president? Hearing none, I'll close the nominations and ask for a roll call vote.
Councilman Frida.
Yes.
Councilman O'Doherty.
Yes.
Councilman Barish.
Yes.
Councilman Clavell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sente.
No.
And Councilman Giantonio.
Yes.
Congratulations. The next order of business is appointing of the Council Planning Board Representative Class 3. And I am asking the council please defer action on this. We did not have a chance to talk about this in our December workshop. Councilman Cobell has served in the past, but I want to make sure that the full council has an opportunity to talk about the planning board representative for the upcoming year. It's not a reflection on Steve's past service, but once again, did not want to move forward with that nomination of appointment until such time as the council had a chance to talk about it. The next order of agenda business is the council committee appointments, and I know there has been some discussion. The mayor, just for the record, Mayor shall appoint all members of the committee with the confirmation of the council and shall be a member of each committee ex officio. The committees basically facilitate the operation of the borough and are basically liaisons to the various departments. They have reporting responsibilities back to the mayor and council on a monthly basis. I think that the nominations that I put forth, the recommendations I put forth, were discussed briefly at the December council meeting, and I would like now to entertain any discussion about the recommended appointments. If there is no discussion, I'll ask for a motion to approve the council committee assignments as outlined.
I make a motion to approve the council committee as outlined.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Frida?
Yes.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Cobell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spenti?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio.
Yes. Each one of the council members that are going to serve as chairman brings some expertise, I think, to the individual positions, and I'm pleased to say that over the last 4 years, for those former council people, you have, in fact, done a good job. I think we have a lot of work that's before us, but the committee chairman, I will read that off to you. The Public Works is Council President O'Doherty. Utilities, Council President O'Doherty. Public Safety, Councilman Barish. Coordinating, Carol Sventi, Councilwoman Sventi. Recreation, Councilman Frida. Personnel, Councilman Giantonio. Ordinance, Councilman Giantonio. Finance, Councilman Cobell. Open Space, Councilwoman Sventi. And new committee that will have to be basically codified and put into the bylaws is Technology, Councilman Barish. Gentlemen and Councilwoman, good luck with your new assignments, or old assignments. Next is the administration of oaths for our fire chiefs. And I think that we have them here. Mayor? I have to tell you, for years, Glenn would give jobs to people. They didn't know what the heck the job was, but he would always say to them, congratulations. And then they would say, for what? And he would say, because you're going to basically put some time in, and thank you very much. So, nice hold the Bible. You hold the Bible and stand between our two. To the other side, like Adam? Sure. Left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Okay. I state your name.
I, Tom Stern,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
Morris County, New Jersey.
Morris County, New Jersey.
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of
all the duties of the office of First Assistant Chief
in the Borough of Kinnelon,
in the Borough of Kinnelon,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Just before we move forward, if there are any people that are volunteers in the audience, I just ask you to stand for one moment. I know we have some.
Laying low.
We are so fortunate as a borough to have residents that are willing to put themselves and their family basically second to what the borough needs at any one point in time. I constantly have commended and recommended our fire company, but it goes beyond that. It's our recreation coaches. It's people that really have made a difference in the borough, and I don't know if recognizing you once a year is really adequate for all the time and effort you put forth. You know, I listen to the plectron calls at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm grateful that I'm not getting out of bed, but for the fire company, thank you so much. Please continue the good work, and for those members of the community that are currently serving or will be serving on boards and commissions, once again, it doesn't work without you. Thank you again for your efforts, and a round of applause, please. The council has been provided with annual appointments and designations to various municipal offices, boards, and commissions. The question was raised early this evening if these are new appointments or existing appointments. I never like to move forward on appointments without having the council have an opportunity to have some input on appointments for new members. So this is for existing members only, and we will take action in January for any new members at that point in time. So I just want to clarify that with the council. So once again, are there any, I'll bring it back to the dais for any discussion or comments about annual appointments and designations to various municipal offices and boards and commissions. Hearing none, I'll ask that someone please approve the appointments as outlined in our agendas.
So moved.
Your second.
Second.
Your roll call, please.
Councilman Frida?
Yes.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barrett?
Yes.
Councilman Covell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spencer?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
Thank you. I don't think we have board members and commissioners here tonight, so we'll move on to the consent agenda for various resolutions. I don't think the council likes to hear me talk too much. So I'm going to ask them if they have any comments with regard to resolutions 1.0515 through 1.2315. If there are no comments, I'll ask that someone offer those resolutions in total.
I'll make a motion.
Do your second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Frida?
Yes.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barrett?
Yes.
Councilman Covell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spencer?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the next couple ones I have to actually read through, so if you bear with me. The first is appointment of
Professional services.
it's 115. Okay, thank you. It's award of non-fair and open contract for professional services under $17,500 for the year of 2015. Whereas the Borough of Kinnelon has a need to acquire professional services pursuant to New Jersey State Annotated 48:11-5-1AI, utilizing a non-fair and open contract pursuant to the provisions of New Jersey State Annotated Code 19:44A-20.4 or 20.5 as appropriate, and whereas the CMFO has determined that the certified in writing that the value of the services will not exceed $17,500, and whereas the anticipated term of this contract is 1 year, and whereas the governing body, the Borough of Kinnelon, has certified the professional services for its Kinnelon Mayor and Council provided by professional service contracts with the below listed professional services are described herein. DMC Associates, Tax Assessment Mapping Engineers, Robert Gurin and Vreeland, Utility Water, Wastewater Engineers, Burgess and Associates, Professional Planner, Allstate ORC, Oil Spill Recovery, Brian Giblin, Esquire, Labor Attorney, Lisa Perry, Animal Control, Animal Cruelty, DeBlock Environmental Services, Water and Wastewater Operator, Eric Labaska from Frankel Benefits, LLC, Health and Dental Insurance Broker, Frank Cavelli, Professional Insurance Associates, Inc., our Risk Manager. Be it further resolved that these resolutions shall take effect immediately. I need a motion.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Councilman Frida?
Yes.
Councilman O'Dowd?
Yes.
Councilman Barrett?
Yes.
Councilman Cobell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spencer?
Yes.
And Councilman Gianantonio?
Yes.
Thank you. This is Resolution 12515, award of a non-fair and open contract for professional services over $17,500 for the year 2015. Whereas the Borough of Kinnelon is in need to acquire professional services from a non-fair and open contract pursuant to provisions of New Jersey State Annotated Code 1944, 19:44A-20.4 or 20.5 as appropriate, and whereas the CMFO has determined determined and certified in writing that the value of these services will exceed $17,500, and whereas the anticipated term of contract is for 1 year, and whereas the governing body of the council has certified the professional services for Kinnelon Mayor and Council, provided that below listed professionals will not exceed $17,500, and whereas the below listed professionals has completed and submitted a business entity disclosure certification which certifies that neither they or their professional firms have made any reportable conditions to a political or candidate committee in the Borough of Kinnelon in any previous 1 year, and that the contract will prohibit the professional services of firms from making any reportable contributions through the term of that contract, and whereas the listed individuals have completed and submitted a political contribution disclosure certification and a business registration certificate, now therefore be resolved by the governing body of the Borough of Kinnelon, authorizes the Borough of Kinnelon to enter into professional services with the below listed professionals for services provided herein. Council members have asked that we defer appointment of the Borough Attorney, Mark Medeo, and also of the professional engineer, Paul Darmafowski, until we have a chance to entertain some additional discussion on those two professional appointments. So the action that we are taking tonight,
Swallow in there?
I think I screwed up, and we're going to go back and correct that, because I think it was under the appointments, and I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to correct that. So it's under this particular contract over $17,500. It will be for Louis May, our CPA, Robert Beinfeld of Hawkins, Delafield and Wood, Bond Counsel, and Burgess and Associates for Municipal Planner. So once again, we are deferring action on Paul Darmafowski, our Borough Engineer, and Mark Medeo, our Borough Attorney. This contract awarded through a fair and open process pursuant to New Jersey State Annotated Code 19:44A, 20.4 et sec, the business entity disclosure certification, determination of valuation certification, and the political contribution disclosure certification and the business registration certificate shall be placed on file with this resolution. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect as provided above. Do you have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Your second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Frida?
Yes.
Councilman Barrett?
Yes.
Councilman O'Dougherty?
Yes.
Councilman Cobell? Sorry. Councilwoman Spencer?
Yes.
And Councilman Gianantonio?
Yes.
I am going to have to ask, in my effort to make this move along quickly, I apologize. We have had some questions on the appointment of the municipal prosecutor, Ralph M. Fava, and also the borough attorney is listed here in the private approval, and also the borough engineer, Darmafowski. So I'm going to ask for a corrective resolution to defer action on the appointment of those professionals until such time as the mayor and council have an opportunity to discuss further. And I think that's
I'll make that
consistent with
motion.
our, do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Frida?
Yes.
Councilman O'Dougherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barrett?
Yes.
Councilman Cobell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spencer? Yes. And Councilman Gianantonio?
Thank you. I apologize for that oversight. We now are going to move on to our risk management. hopefully you get a sense for how exciting these meetings can be, and that's why typically the crowd is not as verbose, or not as large as it is tonight. So this is Resolution 12615, Risk Management. Whereas the Borough of Kinnelon has resolved to join the Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund following a detailed analysis, and whereas the bylaws of said funds require each governing body to appoint a risk management consultant to perform various professional services as detailed in the bylaws, and whereas the Board of Fund of Commissioners established a fee equal to 6% of the municipal assessment, which expenditure represents reasonable compensation for the services required and was included in the cost of consideration by the governing body, and whereas the Borough of Kinnelon advertised these services through a request for qualification process in accordance with the open and fair process as set forth in Public Law 2004, Chapter 19, as amended by Public Law 2005, C-271, New Jersey State Annotated Code 19:44A-20.4 et sec. Whereas the judgmental nature of the risk management consultant's duties renders competitive bidding impractical, now therefore be resolved that the Borough of Kinnelon does hereby appoint Frank Cavelli, Professional Insurance Associates, Incorporated, 429 Hackensack Street in Carlstadt, New Jersey, as its risk management consultant for the fund year 2015 in accordance with the fund's bylaws. And be it further resolved that the PIA is offered to perform these services for an annual fee of 5% of the municipal assessment. Be further resolved that the governing body is hereby authorized and directed to execute a risk management consultants agreement annexed hereto, and to cause a notice of this decision to be published according to New Jersey State Annotated 40A:11-5 1AI. If there is no discussion, I'll ask for a motion on that resolution.
So moved.
Your second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Frida?
Yes.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Cavell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Senti?
Yes.
And Councilman D'Antonio.
Yes.
We get to breathe for a moment and catch our breath, and now turn it over to you. So if there's anyone from the public that would like to be heard, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and be heard. Public is extremely quiet this evening, and I guess you enjoy hearing us talk more than that, but I will bring it back to the dais, and I'll just deviate from our seating arrangement here and start with our Councilwoman Sventi for her member comments.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to mention a few highlights of 2014 for the Coordinating Committee in Open Space. We have seen forward movement as regards artificial turf at Kinnelon High School, which purportedly will improve our recreation fields for the youth of our community. Also, the Cole Museum now proudly displays a restored front porch and newly insulated UV storm windows, protecting the collection within and making a successful completion of the first of 3 phases of a restoration project. Our public library continues to celebrate its patrons with a library staff and a board of trustees both dedicated to providing phenomenal and engaging programs for Kinnelon and non-Kinnelon residents of all ages. While I have been a volunteer in Kinnelon for over 20 years, I'm continually amazed and surprised and most certainly proud of the selfless and dedicated work of our many volunteers of our community's boards and committees. They contribute to our community. Thank you for your continued willingness to serve our community. I'm also very proud of all of our borough employees who show their dedication and passion for their work and our community by wearing not just one hat when they come to work, but many hats as they toil to keep our borough up and running in the best and in the worst of times. To our acting borough clerk, Karen Yulee, to our borough CFO, Donna Molyneux, to our DPW Superintendent, John Whitehead, and Kinnelon Police Chief, John Schwartz. I hope they convey these messages to their staff and know that I appreciate them very, very much and thank them for their work and dedication. Last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank my husband, John, for his never-ending love and support. He has endured my hectic schedule, late meals, and lots of takeout. And finally, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy, healthy, peaceful and a prosperous new year. Thank you. That's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Carol. Moving on to Council President O'Doherty.
Well, yes, thank you, Mayor. I'd like to report we're not going to have any snow this year, no. I think that's a lie, though. So I can't say that. We're going to have snow tomorrow. At any rate, our GPW, I'm excited about our new project. Unfortunately, as you know, that our last year, our bids went down because of the exorbitant amount of money that we're going to spend. We will now have a new bid process. We do expect to have the bids on February 6th. They're being reviewed right now. We should have on display next week or the week after a picture from the architect, a colorful picture that everybody can see the new renovation and see what it's going to look like, this new project. We're hoping to bring the project in at a reasonable rate for the taxpayers and for the borough. It's a necessary thing that we have to do for the borough in order to house very expensive equipment. I'm also looking to work forward and leaning on you a little bit this coming year, Adam, with your expertise in some of the construction that you've done with your facility. I'd also like to report on as Deputy Mayor for Veterans Affairs. This year we're going to have a Memorial Day Parade in Kinnelon, which we're very excited about. We are again going to do the Field of Freedom, which was a big success last year. Everybody in the community loved the flags out front. We've been working with the veterans. We're having about one veterans funeral a week between the VFW and the American Legion, and the members go. I mean, we're losing a lot of veterans. Some of them are not getting some of their care. A good friend of mine in November passed. I was trying to get him benefits. He wound up with pancreatic cancer. He'd served 4 tours in Vietnam, lived in Denville. And he passed. We could not get him any benefits because pancreatic, even though he was exposed to Agent Orange, the federal government does not honor that as one of their symptoms for benefits, unfortunately. So I'm looking forward this year to work with all our members, and hopefully they can possibly give me some assistance with the veterans. I know, Mayor, you've had a great program that you've introduced and you've introduced me to with your community of hope. And that's the end of my report. And I want to wish everybody, of course, a happy new year, the best during the new year.
Thank you, Dan. Councilman Frida.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be last. Well, I'd like to start by wishing Adam and Cliff and yourself, Mayor, best of luck, and look forward to working with you. And Adam, I know you're new, and you and I have had a bunch of conversations, so I'm excited to work, especially with the technology, because we've all been griping up here that we need our website and everything up to par, and I think you're past par, so I think
Thank you.
I'm excited to work with you. Cliff, again, we've communicated well. I like a lot of stuff that you stand for with recreation, especially, and all the different stuff. So look forward to working with you. And Mayor, I know it was a rough election, and I look forward to getting past that, and look forward to working with you. I think you have the right mindset for the town, and again, I look forward to working closely with you.
Thank you, Jim.
Going into 2015 for me is going to be a very exciting year, especially for Rep. Melanie Shuckers, who is back there somewhere. Come on, Melanie, let me see you stand up. And that's our new rec director in town. She's going to lead us into the future with a lot of excitement and a lot of enthusiasm. She already has proven herself as a leader and has the right choice to maintain and grow our recreation programs into the future. In 2014, we were able to come up with a comprehensive plan to address our field issues. A turf field hopefully will be coming to the Kinnelon High School in September of 2015. Along with that, we have met with our field professionals and come up with a plan for the future for our fields, which includes seeding, fertilization, irrigation, and aerating. We have all the right equipment to get the fields up to par. The biggest problem we will continue to have is the use of the fields and no downtime. but we will do our best to keep the grass growing and healthy. 2014 saw our girls softball team make it to the World Series. Our 11U boys won the district championships. Our football team won the Super Bowl, and over 2,000 kids in Kinnelon have enjoyed and participated in recreation sports. One group I will wholeheartedly like to thank is our volunteers. Without you, we don't have recreation programs. As a coach myself, nothing is better return on your investment than when a kid calls you coach. I'm looking forward to recreation in 2015. I wish Melanie luck, and thank you for electing me to be up here to represent recreation. Thank you. Mayor, that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Jim. I'm going to make the rookies go last tonight, so moving on. Steve Cobell.
Thank you. I look forward to working with the newly formed council on the financial challenges that we have every year, given the restraints placed on us by our state government and increasing costs and the economy in general, but we will continue to do the best job that we can in that area. I would like to just express, having been on the council for over 10 years now, the gratitude looking out on some of the people in the audience that I've had. Had I not had this job for the last 10 years, there's just a lot of people that I would not have had the opportunity to work with. Former council people, current council people, employees, volunteers, and I want to say that it's been a rewarding experience, and hopefully it will continue to be so. That includes you, Andy. So, having said that, I wish everybody a great new year, and I look forward to 2015. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. Councilman Giantonio.
Thank you, Mayor. Addressing business first. Just briefly going over the status of several projects that I'm working on. We're still in the midst of negotiating the personnel contract. It's been going smoothly. We've met with union representatives 2 times, exchanged a number of emails. We're moving along, I think, at a good clip, and I think that we should have an agreement fairly shortly, hopefully by the end of this month. The recreation code is done, I believe, and should be in front of the Rec Commission shortly, and hopefully then on to the council for consideration. Still working on the personnel job descriptions, which I think will be useful going forward. A lot of work was done on the prior council on that, which is good. It gave me a good foothold to move forward on that. I think it's going to be very helpful. I'm going to be meeting with the ordinance committee members about the sign ordinance that we had discussed previously, which we have all looked at and feel that it does need an update. The revised ordinance, but new ordinance for trees is still a work in progress. As I think everyone on this council knows, it was addressed prior to my coming on the council. I know members, including you, Mayor, I believe, and Councilwoman Sventi, and several other members of the prior councils worked on the prior version of the tree ordinance for over a year, it's my understanding. And going through a lot of those documents is taking some time to make sure that we get a version of the ordinance that will be acceptable to all our residents here. I know last time it was a bit of an uphill battle, but I think a lot of good work was done on the prior version, and hopefully we can get it done this time. On a more personal note, I've been in this position, even though most of you out there saw me getting sworn in today. I actually replaced Ron Mondell on the council several months ago. And I can tell you this, it's been a learning experience. Almost every day I'm learning something new about how municipal government works. I had attended prior council meetings and knew that there was work going on behind the scenes, but it wasn't until I was actually here that I realized how much work it is. My wife, I want to thank her for being so patient. There are a lot of meetings that I have to take during the week and on weekends. Is that a comment? Is my time up?
No, I don't think so, but...
Should I talk in between beeps, maybe?
No, what is that noise? What?
It's a vacuum.
I think it stopped. Thank you,
I think you're back on.
But as I was saying, there's a lot of work involved in this job, but it can be very rewarding. I've enjoyed my experience meeting all you folks up here, meeting people in town. And what I always tell people who ask me, how's it going, Councilman, I say, you know what, it's really a great experience to be here and to see how everything is done in town, what's going on, what's being done, what's not being done, things that need to be fixed, things that are getting changed, and to see how hard all of you work up here. I really appreciate the experience that I'm having, and I appreciate all the help that all the members have, including the mayor, have been providing me over the past several months. And I look forward to the next 3 years working to move the town forward. So thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Cliff. Just before we get to Councilman Barish's comments, I see that freeholder John Crickus has joined us this evening. John, thank you so much for coming out to our meeting. Really appreciate your efforts. Thank you. And Councilman Barish.
Thank you. Saving the best for last.
Something like that.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I want to wish everybody a happy, healthy, prosperous 2015. I want to thank the residents of Kinnelon for their confidence in me and their trust. I want to state my goals for this year. As a councilman, I want to hold the line on taxes and spending. I want to work to enhance communication and transparency through a more user-friendly and informative borough website. That was a great point, Jim. Work with the Rec Committee, Public Works Committee to establish that field maintenance plan you guys have been working on. So hopefully my presence on those two committees will help you guys find the plan, put the pieces in place, and help you execute it. My goal of broadening the rec offerings, which was stated both in the primary and in the election, is already well underway. Thank you to Jim Frieda and his team, and Melanie Shuckers. Thank you very much. That's going to make that piece very easy for me. We're fortunate to have a lot of great people in Kinnelon that allow us to run this community very lean. One place that we do need people is in our volunteer organizations. As you may or may not know, I'm a volunteer firefighter for 16 years now. And the Volunteer Fire Company needs members. The Tri-Borough First Aid Squad is in need of members. We also have other organizations that are very fortunate to have our people volunteering for them. Camelot, the animal shelter, the library, the rec, like you were saying, as far as coaching and whatnot. Kinnelon Conserves, that all count on our residents to give of their time and efforts. And I know we're all busy with our own lives and our own families and our own incomes, but more than ever, time's at a premium. I encourage all of our residents to find something that fits their interests and their time commitments and their personal goals, and help us all set an example for our next generation. Since I do love technology, I'm going to start another Facebook page that can be liked as opposed to having to be friends, so I can report on my views from the dais here. So if you want, you're all welcome to follow Adam Barish as councilman, or use that to connect with me directly via message or post on the wall there. Other than that, thank you all for coming out tonight. We do appreciate that. Hopefully I'll see you at a council workshop, a meeting around town. And lastly, I'd maybe be in trouble if I wouldn't say thank you very much to my family, my wife Kimberly, and my kids Alexa and Evan in the front row. And I really couldn't do this without your love and support. So thank you.
Thank you. I see that we've been joined by Assemblyman Jay Weber, and Jay, thank you so much for attending our meeting tonight. I know that this is the time of year when politicians try to be in two places at the same time, sometimes three, and it never works, but we try. Here's my prepared comments. For those of you sitting in the front row, it's about 20 words, but any good politician can take one word and make it into a pretty lengthy paragraph, so bear with me. Being elected to public office is probably the most humbling event. You recognize a couple things in that process that basically you're putting yourself out there. And too often it's with little or no positive feedback, at least during campaigns. But I think as you have an opportunity to serve, you realize that the honor of helping people is one that is pretty special. And there are people that we help on a daily basis that we don't even know that we've helped. And to have somebody walk up and shake your hand and say, "Thank you so much for your service," and all too often I reply, "I don't know what I've done," and they said, "You've done everything." This is just an exceptional town. I love being your mayor. I know the councilmen up here and councilwomen love the honor of serving you on a daily basis. It can be frustrating. It can be emotionally draining. But I think the rewards sometimes are very personal and very intimate. And sometimes you walk away from the dais realizing that you can differ with other people but still have a shared vision. As I've traveled around the state and talked to other mayors, I have heard nothing but positive things about Kinnelon. We do a lot of things right here. And with all due respect to the former mayor, I think Glenn never liked to talk about how good the town was because he was afraid somebody would discover it. We have some very, very dedicated volunteers. We have people that go above and beyond on a daily basis. And we see it sometimes only during occasional times during the course of the year. Maybe it's Thanksgiving. Maybe it's a food drive. Maybe it's a hurricane where neighbor is calling upon neighbor. It may happen in other communities, but I believe that we do it in such a way that sometimes it goes unnoticed, but surely appreciated. We're going to continue our tradition of being the community that we are. We're going to move forward together with a shared vision, and we're not going to overpromise and underdeliver. That all too often happens on so many levels in politics. We're going to be realistic about our goals, but I can assure you that the members of the council that are sitting up here with me are as dedicated to the borough as I am, and we're going to work our tails off for you on a daily basis. You may not agree with decisions that we make as a governing body, and that's fine, but I'm going to ask our members of the council once again to have open minds and open hearts, and to realize that ultimately the public, in fact, needs to be heard, and more importantly, they need to be appreciated in their efforts to meet that goal. We've done a great job with Highlands, and I know we have one of my favorite assembly people in the back there. We don't get recognized for it. We're over 40% preserved or not developed, and we're protecting a lot of water for our people down south. So when you're down the shore, ask them to buy you a beer or so, because we're doing a hell of a job up here. And the unfortunate part about it is that we're now in a position where we're not going to have any significant growth in the borough over the next 5 to 10 years or foreseeable future. That means that every single dollar that we spend here has to be well thought out, has to basically be leveraged, and once again has to fulfill the goal of understanding that it's your money, not ours. We send a lot of money to Trenton. Morris County doesn't get a lot back, and it's something I know that our assembly people and representatives fight for, but that's the way the game is currently stacked. But I will tell you, we've had opportunities in the past to get road grants here. Dan will tell you it's nice when we get some of our money back to pave some of our roads, and we've had success in some projects in town. We're going to continue that path. We're going to look for other grant opportunities. We're going to look for opportunities to work with other municipalities. We are the poster child for shared services. All too often the question that Councilman Frieda says is, when do we stop being Kinnelon? I don't think we ever stop being Kinnelon as long as, once again, we hold together as a community, but we need to do things in a business-like fashion that really enable us to leverage our resources, leverage our neighbors' resources as well. We've got a great police department. We just saw a report where we're in the bottom 5% for crime. throughout the state. So once again, I think that's reflective of not only the police department, but you as citizens as well. I reached out to the governor's office and laid out some objectives that I think that I've heard from the public over the last 4 years, and I'm waiting to hear back on a couple issues. So hopefully we'll be able to move forward on some projects that we've talked about. Good news is that the governor's office is available, as well as our elected officials. They have always been there for us, and that's a big part of what we do. Love being your mayor. This is just such an exceptional job, and I thank you again for the opportunity to serve for the next 4 years. The outpouring during a decisive election was just overwhelming. Neighbors calling me up saying, I'm sick, but I'm going to have my son drive me to the voting booth. People waking up at 12 o'clock at night saying, I'm so upset about the election, I need to reach out to my friends and write emails. We're going to get past the election. We're going to move forward to another election at some point in time in the future. My hope is that we get good qualified candidates that are willing to dedicate themselves and love the town as much as we do. But you know, it's not time to dwell on the past. It's time to dwell on the future. Help us. You know, we need help to understand what your priorities are. We need help for volunteers. And finally, if we get it wrong, tell us. It's the only way that we'll be able to once again re-examine a position that we thought was correct to begin on. I don't think anybody here is perfect. A couple people may think they're perfect, but I was talking about me, Dan. But the bottom line is that you know, we're human beings just like you, and sometimes our thought process may not be where it's at. But you know, thank you so much for your support. I know that every single council member wanted to thank their wife or their spouse. Some of them forgot to do that tonight. So I will tell them on behalf of those people that forgot.
Some goes without saying.
That's true, but
They're not happy with us, that's why they're not here.
we love you dearly. To my wife Susan, thank you so much for all the support. And we would not be able to do this job without your support. And contrary to Barbara Sisko, I think that our wives want us at home. But seriously, and husbands. No, Glenn just did such a great job for the borough that's part of that tradition I talk about, basically building on. Let's not forget the strength of our community. Let's not forget that we can differ, but let's do it in a way that ultimately we understand and respect each other's opinions. As we move through 2015, I know it's going to be a great year for us. Councilman O'Doherty has already promised no snow on the record. And so seriously, I hope and pray that this is a prosperous and healthy new year for everyone. That's the end of my comments. We do have coffee, coffee and cookies for everyone on the second floor. So please, you know, take a moment to join us after we conclude. Beverly Sullivan, thank you so much for coming out. Very gracious prayer this night for us, and thank you for that. And move forward to the next agenda item. And I did tell you that any good politician would be able to take one word and make a couple paragraphs after it. So without that, if there's no other business to come before the mayor and council, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Jim?
Good meeting.